on my iPad, but it just didn't want to work, so we're filming it on my phone instead. But today's video is a bit of a different one. I'm going to be telling you guys the story of how I found out I was pregnant at 20. This is, like, I still get weird when I tell people this story because it still does not feel real to me. But yes, I'm going to be telling you guys the story today. So, a year ago I met this guy off of Tinder, which, it's rough out there. It is rough out there. Like, I would not recommend ever going on Tinder. But yeah, I met this guy on Tinder. We are still really good friends today. And we actually dated for about a year before I found out. Well, no, actually, no. We dated for about 8 months before I actually found out that I was pregnant. But yes, the day that I found out was May 14th, 2025. I had just finished work and I was on my way home from work, and we were going to the shops before I went home to pick up a couple of things. So I go to the shops and basically I just picked out a couple things, and at this like current point in time I hadn't like missed my period yet, but like I was experiencing some symptoms that were a bit suspicious, you know, like it was a bit too early for me to be experiencing like the things that I was experiencing, but like, yeah, it was too early for it to be my period. So I was like, okay, it's obviously something else. So I was like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and I'm just gonna take a test to see and find out if I am actually pregnant. And the things that I was experiencing was like some back pain, like I was having trouble sleeping. I was kind of like, I felt a little bit sick, like certain foods that I would eat like would make me feel really sick. So I was like, I'm just gonna do the test and find out. So me and my boyfriend go to the shops and we buy the test. And this part is kind of funny to me because he initially was like, do you want to come back to my house and we'll take it at my house? But I was like, no, like it's fine, like I'll just take it here in the shop's bathroom, which is so like not like finding out that you're like pregnant at 20 in the like shopping center bathroom is like it's not fun. And at this point it was like 10 p.m. at night because I used to work really late shifts at my old job, and this particular night I finished late and then I had driven from where I was working back to the shops to get a couple things, and so it was like 10 p.m. at night and I took the test into the bathroom with me and I obviously did it, and it was no surprise, it was very positive. Which, this is kind of funny to me because a lot of people who take pregnancy tests, they always say that like it's like either a faint line or like they can't really tell, but like within a second, like immediately it was like very obviously positive, and I was like, oh my god. And so the first person I told was my friend. I sent her a photo and I was like, yo, I don't know what the hell to do about this. And she was like, you need to go to the doctor immediately. And it was really scary. Obviously it was really scary. Like, I feel like my body automatically went into shock and it didn't really feel real, and it was just kind of like, it was a moment of like, oh. And I was in the bathroom of the shopping center, literally like my body was like shaking. I was shaking so bad, and I walked out and my boyfriend at the time had like kind of walked into the doorway of the bathroom and he was like what's the verdict, like what is it? And I just showed it to him and he took a second to like figure out what it meant, and then I don't really know, we just kind of were like, okay. situation, like, you always say you're gonna react a certain way, but then like you might react a different way. So I feel like we were both just really shocked to see the result of that test. That night I couldn't really sleep. I knew I had work the next morning and I was having trouble sleeping. I was nervous, I was anxious. I wanted to tell my mom, but she was asleep, so I like didn't want to wake her up. I barely slept that night. I was awake all night. I was messaging my friends. I was telling the people that I love, like the people that are close to me, like what was going on. And everyone was really supportive, which I have been so incredibly lucky this whole entire time. Like, everyone has been amazing. Everyone's been so supportive, and it's definitely made it a lot easier. I feel like if your family is like not as supportive, it's very difficult, and it's very rough, and it's very hard to deal with that. But everyone was amazing, and I told one of my friends, so we weren't really friends at the time, but I messaged her and was like, hey, like, I took a test, I'm pregnant. She was like, it's probably just a faulty test. And then I sent her a photo and she was like, oh my god. So the next thing I did was tell my mom the next morning. I told my mom before I went to work, and obviously she was like really shocked, but she was very supportive. My family is very supportive. And then I went to work and I tried working and I ended up going home sick. Like, I was not in the right headspace to be at work. Like, yeah, it just wasn't really the right time for me to be at work. But the next thing I did was book a doctor's appointment, and we went to that the next day. So 2 days after I found out, we went to the doctor's appointment, and she wrote me up to get an ultrasound, and we talked about everything, and I was so nervous for the first couple of weeks of my pregnancy, like, because I found out when I was 4 weeks and 5 days pregnant, so very, very early on. And if you've ever been pregnant before, you know that, like, if you've ever been pregnant before, you know that, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you know that the first trimester, like, really drags on, especially if you find out when you're, like, super duper early. Like, it can really drag on. And so that, like, few days leading up to my ultrasound, it felt like forever. Every single day would just drag on and on and on. And by the time I got my ultrasound done, the doctor or the ultrasound tech actually requested that I get another one done, because my baby was like literally the size of like a sesame seed, like probably even smaller than that. Like, you couldn't see anything. You could barely see the heartbeat because she was so tiny. Oh yeah, it's a girl, by the way. Because she was so tiny. And like, so they requested that I get another one done at 8 weeks. So I got my first one done at 5 weeks, and then I had to wait 3 more weeks to get the next one. And like, every day in those 3 weeks felt like a lifetime. Like, it was the struggle, like having to wait, like every day would just drag on and on and on, and yeah, it was not fun. So, but the crazy thing is that it felt like now looking back, like, that was so long ago that I was waiting to get my 8-week ultrasound. I'm 27 weeks now, so, but it felt like it was so long waiting for my 8-week ultrasound. And especially in the first trimester, I didn't get like crazy morning sickness, but I did have some morning sickness, and I was very sensitive to foods, which, if you've ever been pregnant before, you know, like, it's like rough out there. Like, the first trimester is really like rough. But yeah, I was sensitive to some foods, so yeah, it felt like I was waiting forever. And then after that, everything has gone pretty much exactly how I'd hoped, or how I had hoped. Yeah, everything went pretty much exactly how I'd hoped. I just kept going to appointments and stuff. guess you're young and you just found out, hopefully this video can bring you some comfort. I just want you to know that, like, it's okay. Like, it is definitely hard, but like, it's so worth it. Every moment is so worth it. And this is where my life was supposed to take me, which is crazy, but I know that this was the path that I was supposed to take in life, and honestly, I would redo everything that I've done a million times over, and I literally cannot wait to meet my little baby. I'm so excited, but thank you so much for watching. I don't know if you made it this far, maybe you fell asleep, I don't know why. I thought it would be good to make this an ASMR video, but yes, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed,